Juliet always loved the little things in life. She was a woman of simple joys and a big heart. Every morning, she'd go for a walk through the small park near her apartment. The park had a small lake, a few benches, and a lot of memories for her. It was in this very park, 3 years ago, that she had met the love of her life, Kane. Kane was a quiet, thoughtful man with a gentle presence. He had a love for books and the outdoors, much like Juliet. One evening, as the sun was setting, Juliet was sitting on a bench, watching the ducks glide across the lake. Kane was on the other side of the park, reading a novel under a tree. Their eyes met for a brief second, and Juliet felt something she couldn't explain. She looked away quickly, feeling a little embarrassed, but the image of him stayed in her mind. As days passed, Juliet found herself going to the park more often, hoping to see him again. And one lucky day, he was there, sitting on the same bench she had sat on. She gathered her courage, walked over, and said, "Hi, I noticed you love reading here too." He looked up, surprised but smiling. "Yes, I find peace here." From that simple greeting, a beautiful friendship began. Over time, their friendship grew deeper. They would meet almost every day in the park, sometimes talking for hours about life, dreams, and everything in between. Kane shared his love for classic novels, and Juliet shared her passion for painting. They both inspired each other in their own ways. One winter evening, after a long walk, Kane confessed, "Juliet, I've never felt this way about anyone. You are the love of my life." Juliet's heart skipped a beat. She had known it too, but hearing him say it made her feel like the happiest woman alive. She whispered back, "And you are mine, Kane." In that moment, under the stars and the falling snow, they shared their first kiss. It was a moment she would never forget, a memory she would carry forever. The days were filled with laughter and love. They had their own little routines that made them happy. Kane would read Juliet poems, and she would paint little sketches of the two of them together. They shared their dreams, supported each other's goals, and always had each other's backs. But life wasn't always perfect. One day, Kane got a job offer in another city. It was a big opportunity, and he was torn. He didn't want to leave Juliet, but he also knew that this was something he couldn't turn down. They talked about it for hours, and eventually, Juliet, with a heavy heart, said, "Kane, you should go. This is your dream, and I will always support you." They both promised to keep in touch, to write letters and call each other every night. For the next year, their relationship turned into long distance. They missed each other deeply, but their love never faded. They counted down the days until they could see each other again. Every letter, every call, reminded them of the connection they had. After months of waiting, Kane finally returned to their little town, ready to be with Juliet forever. They reunited in the same park where they first met. As they embraced, he looked into her eyes and said, "Juliet, you are still, and always will be, the love of my life." They got married a few months later, and from that day on, they promised to never let go of each other. Their love had faced distance and time, but it only grew stronger. Juliet and Kane spent the rest of their lives creating memories together, proving that true love, once found, could last a lifetime. And every morning, they would walk to the park together, hand in hand, feeling grateful for finding each other.